What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Inferno Academy, and today we're going to learn how to improve your social skills and make more friends. And this is a very good guide. Honestly, it's like one of my best guides yet. I've been putting a lot of time into it. I've been literally in college making the guide. So yeah, it's like just a massive list. And let's hop right into the video. What's my story? I've kind of already explained this in the social anxiety guide that I made, but basically my story is this. In year 7 and 8, when I started high school, I went into my high school and I was a very quiet kid. I had really bad at social anxiety, and I really preferred just being quiet and just getting my work done and going. I had no friends. I had no one to hang out with. I was hanging out with my old friends, but they dropped me basically. They just started bullying me instead, and I stopped hanging out with them. And instead, I went to this place called Diamonds, and Diamonds was this place where I could just relax and just. I didn't make any friends in Diamonds. I made some friends in Diamonds, but like. I knew it was in me, I knew I could definitely make friends, but my social skills were honestly really bad. I preferred just staying quiet and not talking to anyone. And also the fact that every time people would ask me, like in my school, they would ask, oh bro, are you mute or something like that? Or, do you even talk, bro? Does he even talk? Or, come on, talk. Yeah. I really did enjoy the attention I got from the people that told me, oh yeah, you don't talk, and are you mute or something. I did like the attention. I did like have that as my like personality. That's like who I was in the class. Year 10 started, and I started hanging out with my friend Usman. Usman was a friend I had since, let me think, a long time ago. Honestly, we've been friends since primary. I started hanging out with him a lot more, like I mean a lot more. And obviously we haven't been like caught up in a while. Obviously year 9 was basically destroyed because of the lockdown, and we didn't talk in year 8 at all. So I just want to say that yeah, Usman was one of my best friends, and honestly I respect him for what he did. And I'll tell you what he did right now. He basically pushed me out of the year 9 version of myself. Pushed me out. He always questioned why I did this. He was more of like the stronger, like he was a lot stronger than me. Even though he was a year younger than me, he was a lot stronger. He always had a stronger mindset. He was always questioning why I was so quiet and why I acted like this and why like I'm always like being so weak and acting so weak, acting like a pussy. And he was always questioning this. And not just that, he had these like group of friends, right? So what we do is get into this little like area, and they just start fighting, bro. They literally just start fighting out of nowhere. And the thing is, when they start fighting all the time, he asked me to get into the fight as well. And obviously I didn't fight. I haven't fought since like a couple of years. A couple of years ago, I used to love fighting, right? I used to enjoy fighting, but it was like actual fighting, not just like boxing or anything like that. Boxing was later on. But yeah, I just really enjoyed fighting, but Osman was trying to like ignite that fire inside of me, and he was trying to get me back into like becoming more stronger. And obviously, it took me a long time. Trust me, it took me a while to just adjust to what Usman was telling me to do, and not just that. It's like that kind of way, if you get what I mean. Like he was always challenging me to do other things. So I just gotta give my thanks to him. Plus, I just got bored. Honestly, I got bored and tired of being the quiet kid. I was done with having no friends. I was done with the guys being bored of sitting next to me and disrespecting me simply because I just couldn't talk, and they just didn't like speaking to me. They didn't like talking to me. They didn't even like being around me. And I didn't like that. Honestly, I cared a lot about what other people think, and when I saw other guys just saying like, oh no man, I don't want to sit next to him. Every time he's just like, he never talks and he's just dead and like all that, and then just sit down with me. And then just disappointed and stuff. It didn't make me feel good, honestly. I really wanted to be like seen as a more respected person and a better person. So honestly, it was all really because of respect. So then obviously year 10 went by. I made like 20 friends, and obviously they're mainly in my classes. I was just talking to people, making small talk, and then eventually I just became like good friends. I've still still got some of them friends in my college. And yeah, so then fast forward to year 11, I don't know what I was actually doing, to be honest. Like, a year ago I was literally just depressed, and I was just, I don't know, I was really down, to be honest. I didn't really feel like going to school anymore. I was preparing for the December mocks, and I was getting into boxing. A year ago I was literally just getting into boxing, and then I became like super, I don't know, this might be a story for another time, but basically on March 19th, March like 16th or something, I basically got into a boxing fight, right? So I told my friend, let's box. I'm gonna bring my gloves to a field, you box me. Came up to the field, the guy's here with his gloves, I'm here with my gloves. I'm like, let's box. I box the guy, win, and like gain the respect of everybody. Leave for about a month because Ramadan starts, so I can't even focus on that. And instead I'm just focused on Ramadan. I come back from Ramadan and I lose a fight, I lose all my respect, and then I'm just kind of just chilling there. Obviously I made loads and loads of friends, by the way, like everyone knew me. But yeah, anyways, that's all about like status and stuff. Right now we're talking about like just making friends and stuff. But yeah, that's basically what my story is. Step 1. Own your darkest desires. Now this is a chapter of The Way of the Superior Man, and it's a very interesting book. But I basically see it like this. I see it as if you need to basically you need to start focusing on your darkest. You need to really think about your darkest desires before you actually before you actually before you actually improve your social skills. Why do you want to improve your social skills? Is it because you're lonely and you have no friends and you want to start making more friends? Is it because you want to start talking to girls but you don't even know how to talk to people in general? So it's like you need to first just learn how to speak and how to make conversations. Or is it for me? Or is it like me and it's for respect from others especially from classmates? I always wanted respect. It was always something that I've had. It's my darkest desire. It's always been respect from other people, and I got a lot of that after I won a fight. I also got more of that when I started in year 10, when I started to improve my social skills. I was getting more confident. I was talking to more people, and I got more respect from other people. Like, yes, he's finally talking. Let's go, man. And I was like, I'm so happy, man. It motivated me to keep going, man. Honestly, it motivated me to keep talking, keep making more friends, because guys liked it when I talked more. If you're a person that really wants to improve his social skills, you need to know exactly why. Don't just go, oh well, you know, it'd be nice to improve it, or oh yeah, I'm just improving it so I could just, you know, make a couple of friends. No, think about your darkest desires. Think about the reason why you want to do it. Really think about the reason why you want to improve your social skills. Think about the reason why you want to be more social and you want to get into a social flow, learn how to start conversations and make more friends. Why do you really want to do? Step 2. How to actually meet more people. So you want to know how to actually talk to more people and how to make conversations, but you don't really know where to find people. So in college, there's basically we go to the cafe mainly. I go to the cafe and I usually just sit down. And what I do sometimes is I go up and I find guys that are by themselves. And because obviously when I was making the social skills guys, I was looking at it. I was like, you know what, man? I was just trying to test if this guide actually worked. And so basically, what I did is I got up, went straight to the person. I asked them a question, or I introduced myself, and we got into a good conversation, and I made a friend just like that, or I made a person that knows me now. It's not that hard when you really think about it. First, you just need to get yourself into a social situation. That is the actionable step, to get yourself in a social situation. So I'm going to name a couple of social situations you can get yourself in, because people that have social anxiety are afraid of these social situations. But the only way you overcome your fear is by training to overcome your fear, by training what your fear is. So instead of being afraid of, oh well, I'm afraid of social skills, why don't you just try forcefully get yourself into one? If you really want to improve, you have to set challenges. I told you guys in the social anxiety guide, the first step was set challenges for yourself. Set small challenges for yourself. That's all it was. So you need to first get yourself into a social situation. If you actually want to make some friends, this is what you do. If you just want to say here, oh well, yeah, I can't be bothered doing that, I've got social anxiety, or yeah, I've got social anxiety, I don't think I can do that, I'm afraid of these social skills. Shut up, bro. Do you want friends or not? You can go sit yourself in the flipping cafe and by yourself and just sit there on your phone, wishing that you had more friends. You pick this guide because you want to make friends, you want to make new friends, you want to talk to people. You know what your deepest desire is, and you need to own it. The actionable step for this part of the guide is to get into more social situations. That means you need to force yourself into social situations. If you really wanted it this badly, you would have to force yourself to get into more social situations. This is how you'll start off to making conversations and meeting new people. So it's mainly about meeting people. Step 3. How to talk to more people and how to start conversations. Now this is the part that a lot of people struggle with, especially with social anxiety, is that they don't really know how to talk to people in general. We don't really, if you want to like talk to a girl or they want to talk to anybody, we just don't know how to start a conversation. The more you talk to people, the more your social skills get better, and also the more your social intelligence gets better. I just want to quickly explain social intelligence. I've only heard of this concept recently, so basically it's how good you are in this whole social hierarchy kind of thing. So if you're just not good at your social skills, you're going to be like your social intelligence literally by talking to more people. So I'm just going to quickly explain how to talk to people, and if you want to, how to start a conversation. So first of all, find some first, obviously, step 2, get yourself into a social situation. Best one to start off with is going to class, and the person sitting next to you might have already made friends with him, but I say if you want to start another conversation with him and get into a deeper conversation, you can do that as well. So basically what you want to do is kind of practice with this guy. So if you've already seen him, who really cares? You still want to just get into another conversation, but I say mainly try to do one with the person that you don't know. So you have let's say for example you have your row, right? There's this one guy I talked to on my right. I had a conversation with him. I knew him from a while ago, and we always hung out, so it's kind of like we already knew each other. The other guy on my left, I did not know who he was, and he was talking to me and everything, but I was obviously quiet, so he didn't really respect me. I decided to talk to him more. So what I did, right, is I'm gonna explain exactly the protocol I used to get into small talk. And I did explain do small talk, what do you call it, in my social anxiety guide. But I was told from a friend that being told to talk more does not help. I think you really do need to learn exactly how to talk to people, like the procedure, like the protocol you need to take. It's stupid because I told you guys earlier, I said don't like overthink it and don't have one saved up in your head. But some people genuinely need one saved up in the head because of how bad their social intelligence is. So the first thing you're gonna do is observe the area around you. Observe what the person is doing. Don't go like, oh yo bro, no bro. Just look at what they're doing and think of a question. Think of any question. There is so many questions you can generate, and if it aren't really doing anything, you can just ask anything about what's happening in the class. And this is really easy. This is like the easiest way to get into a conversation. In the class, you can just ask, oh well, have you done the homework today, bro? Now you've got to push yourself to do this no matter what. If you want to actually make a friend, yeah, you've got to push yourself to ask a question to the other person, and you want to get to know him, and also just be genuinely interested in his answer as well. Don't just be like bored, if you know what I mean. You just need to be really interested in what he's saying. So let's say for example you ask, oh yeah, you done the homework today, bro? And he's like, yeah, I just did it yesterday, last night. I was trying so hard, and I just kind of did. I just had to like rush it down to you. Oh, yeah, okay. No, this is a mistake. This is a big mistake that I made, which was that I kept just like leaving conversation. Now I'm going to explain how to continue conversation later, but I just want to say that be genuinely interested in what they're saying, okay? So just like actually look at them whilst they're speaking to you as well. So obviously hold eye contact, that's in the last guide. Anyways, I'm going off topic, but basically ask a simple, observe the area around you and ask a question. The second way you can start a conversation is by complimenting. Now I already just explained this, but basically what I'd say you do, yeah, is the best way to compliment someone is to have a genuine compliment. Don't just compliment them trying to get something out of them. Like, I know you're trying to make a friend and everything, but have a compliment that you genuinely think that's like for example, I usually used to compliment on the work because we were doing in media. We were doing a project, right? And in this project, we were all working together. We was all working really hard on it, right? I always used to compliment each other's like. I used to compliment people's projects because I used to look at them. I was like, "Oh, bro, damn, you're doing good, man. That's a nice project, that." And obviously it's a bit weird, it's a bit awkward, yeah. But you've got to say with a loud, confident voice that, and it has to be genuine as well. Because I actually thought his project, yeah, it looked really nice, man. Like I was like, damn, this guy's worked so hard, and yeah, he deserves like a compliment for it, right? So it's like at the end of the day, just think about any compliment you can give them. Sometimes you can compliment like the looks. If it's like, for example, like if you're in college, it's just normal because we're wearing a non-school uniform. We don't even have a school uniform. If it's a non-school uniform day, I'd say compliment on their outfit. If it's actually like genuine, if you don't think it looks good and you're just gonna compliment anyway, I say you don't do that because then it doesn't look like a present and genuine, and doesn't look like you're being real and authentic. A quick tip is that you can combine them together. So you have two options here. You have the question or the compliment. You can also combine both together and make a really good start conversation. And this is the best way to start a conversation to anyone that you don't know. And best way to start is a class. And yeah, this is just mainly in the class. But if you don't, like, if it's like for example in the cafe, one of the other ways to start a conversation, the third way, is to introduce yourself. Now I don't really do this one. It's weird. I've never really tried it, but one time I just introduced myself to some random guy. Obviously because I did the cafe experiment stuff. And when I did that, I was just like, yo, what's up, bro? Can I stay here? So I simply like got a question. And Tommy's there, yeah. You can, if he's like, oh, if someone's sitting here or something like that, then yeah, don't do. But usually they go like, oh yeah, stay here, sit there. Say, yo, my name is Shazay, bro. Go for a handshake or go for a fist bump, or I'd say go for a handshake, but so I just don't do anything. Just say, yo, my name is Shazay, bro, and then start like do a handshake or something. Like this is how you start conversations, okay? And also don't just start like, you obviously start off with a question, you can start with a compliment, and then you can move it on to like an introduction. It's your choice. There's them three you can pick out of. Make sure to pick one if you want to start an actual conversation. First step for this part of the guide is to question one person in your school and ask either a question, a compliment, or an introduction if you haven't never seen them before. I'd say just do the first two, but introduction is for the people like if you're not in a social situation. To be fair though, I feel like the question and the compliment are like a basic ones. You should be getting down them. Just stay focused on them too, to be honest. Step 3.5, awkwardness. Now people talk to it. Like I was gonna leave this step out of the way, but there's something really important that I know about like people that have social anxiety, and that is that they think that everything is gonna be awkward. They're awkward people. It's because they've never been in a social situation. It's never done this before, and I can't blame you honestly. If it's your first time, I know it's gonna be awkward. But think about it, right? It only is awkward when you believe it's gonna be awkward. When you think to yourself, oh, this is gonna be so awkward, it's gonna be so weird, and you're making loads of excuses in your mind. It's only awkward when you do that. Once you just fake confidence, even if it's fake confidence, even if you don't have actual confidence, if it's just literally going like, you know what, I can do this, I think I'm actually going to make a friend here, I'm going to go up to him and let's see what happens. If it doesn't go well, it means we're not compatible and I'll make another friend. You've got to have this iron mindset. How to continue a conversation and how to have a social flow. So a social flow is where you get into a conversation and it goes deeper and deeper and deeper. It's not just a basic conversation. You get into a proper deep conversation and you're making a good friendship with this person and you're making a bond, right? So this social flow is very interesting actually because you can also make it with so many people. Remember, it flows as well. So once you've talked to one person for a small amount of time, you can go straight to another person with the same amount of confidence. It's really crazy, honestly. You should be aiming to get into deeper conversations. But first, let me just explain the deeper conversation part. So right now, you've just asked the question. You've done the compliment. Yo, you done the homework today? And he's like, oh yeah, I done the homework, bro. What about you? Oh yeah, I did it. Done. No, we're not doing what I did to drastically improve my social skills was to have deeper conversations. Now, there's two ways you can do this. Write this down, by the way. I want you guys to be taking. One is to make a small joke about it. Number two is to relate the conversation and relate the question to yourself. So I use these tricks a lot when it comes to social situations. I don't know why. It's like this is just how it's worked for me and it's actually been pretty successful. But basically what I do, what I understand, is that it all comes down to delivery. So what you need to do is, as an actionable step, listen to the comedians, right? So watch these comedians and watch how they, don't forget all the lines, but just watch how they deliver it and just copy that delivery. You need to get more you need to have more improvements on your jokes. Now jokes is just like I might make that as like an advanced step later on, but basically this is just a small joke. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go to the guy. He goes, oh yeah, you done the homework today, bro? And then I'm like, and then the other guy's like, yo, nah, I didn't do the homework, bro. What about you? And I'm like, nah, man, I was going to sleep when I did the homework, bro. I swear, I was so tired. Something like that. Something so simple like that could easily, like, maybe it doesn't make them laugh, bro. At least it'll put a smile on your face, and plus, like, even if it's funny to you, then that's pretty good, to be honest, because it'll like make you get into a better social flow. Relate the conversation to yourself. Now, this is a trick I used a lot as well, I'm not gonna lie, to continue conversations. I always used to relate to myself. Now, obviously you've asked a question about them, or asked a question to them, and they reply, and then you can go more about yourself. It also builds an interest, and it builds an interest, like, for the person that you're talking to, they're gonna be more interested into what you're saying. So they're gonna be like, oh yeah, like, they're more interested in who you are. And obviously don't just tell your whole life story, but just basically do a quick story or something, or tell a story to them. So for example, the homework again. Yo bro, you done the homework? And he's like, yeah bro, I did the homework, what about you? And I'm like, nah man, I was literally like, what happened? Yeah, I opened my bag, and then I like looked at my homework, and I was like, oh, I'll leave it, yeah, I put it back in the bag, and I just went to sleep. Like, that's it bro, I just can't be bothered with this homework these days, man. And he's like, yeah man, same man, like honestly, like you and me both, bro. See, this is how you can do it. Like, literally tell a story or relate it to yourself in some way. What I did used to do is I used to tell a story. I wasn't really good at it. I was really bad at it. Honestly, I was like, you heard from that, I was stuttering a little. But honestly, the more you get used to this, the more you get more into like a social flow. Obviously, your first 2, 3, 4, like 20 conversations, I don't know, it will definitely like be pretty bad. But over time, you'll improve, and that's the mindset you need to have. Or else, if you just keep complaining about the past, I have a friend that does it. Don't complain about the past. You always complain about, well, you see, I was always been a socially anxious guy. I always been like a shy person. No, if you've always been a shy person, and what happened? No friends, no brotherhood, no nothing, no girls. You had no social skills at all because you were like that, and now you're trying to improve. You're using this video so you can improve. So stop complaining about the past, yeah, and focus on the future and focus on the present at the moment. Step 5. How to make friends and how to know if someone's actually compatible with you. So, We have just discussed how to start a conversation and how to continue a conversation with anybody you've just met, right? Now we're going to move on to how to actually end the conversation and how to make the friend. So I did this, I did this on the bus with the guy I was talking about that I met on the bus stop. Basically what I did is when I was on the bus, I just continued conversations, I just asked questions and stuff, and we was getting to know each other more. I was obviously just asking questions like, oh yeah, what kind of music you like, or like sometimes I'd ask like, oh yeah, whereabouts you live? I live here and it's pretty good here. What school you used to go to, and also right. So I used to ask a good amount of questions, and I used to obviously relate to continue it. I used to relate it to myself or make a small joke about it. I use this tactic a lot. I've obviously improved over time, so I'm not just relying on these basic tactics. Just before I left, right, so I was leaving. My stop was coming, right, and I said, alright, and I'm gonna go off now. I'll see you later, yeah. And I do a quick fist bump, and I say, what's your name, bro? And he says, oh yeah, my name is this, and then I go, oh yeah, my name is Shazay. See you later, and then I walk away. And that is exactly how you want to end a conversation. So let's say for example you go to the cafe, right, and you see a guy that's sitting by himself. You want to go up to him, start like say, oh yo bro, can I sit here, yeah? And he goes, oh, and then usually when it's a person you don't know, like you don't know how to start, one of the ways that you can start a conversation is simply by introducing yourself. You introduce yourself, then you ask a question, what course are you doing, or what class are you in, what band are you in, were you eating, some basic question, like an observational question, right? And after you end the conversation, alright then bro, alright, I gotta go now, I'll see you later, yeah, what's your name, bro? And then you say your name, and then you've got to say your name, and then just do a quick fist bump or do a handshake or something like that, and then leave. I say fist bump it's a lot more better, because I don't think people are very uncomfortable with handshakes for some reason. Like I just don't think like many people like doing handshakes. I think it's better off if you just do a fist bump, to be honest. I've been doing that. The signs that someone is compatible with you is that if they are turned towards you, the feet are turned towards you, they are they're actually interested in what you're gonna say. They actually make a better conversation. They give good replies. They introduce you to their friends and also let you be with their friends and even include you with them. If the guy is a person that isn't compatible with you, which I'm going to explain the signs of as well, if he isn't compatible with you, just move on and find another person. Now the signs for if somebody isn't compatible with you is if their feet are turned away from you, they're looking away from you and like trying to talk to you a little. They're giving really boring replies, and they're also not including you with their friend group. It's literally just the opposite of what the good one. So also one of the signs are just if they're just not interested in what you say or who you are as a person, and we're not even trying to ask you questions back either, because sometimes when you get into a conversation, you won't be the only one asking questions. It'll hopefully turn into a well, it depends. If they're compatible, they will actually give you questions back. Whilst if they're not compatible, this only happens sometimes. But if they're not compatible, then they usually just won't ask any questions. Just let you ask questions. And if they aren't compatible and you're still in the conversation, then just end it as soon as possible. So then you don't have to like waste any more time trying to get to know them, even though they don't want to know you. The actionable step for this part of the guide is the mini goal, which is basically to simply make one friend by the end of the week. Now, because this guide is mainly for socially anxious people, people that have never made friends before, or never talked to like strangers and talked to like random guys before. But if you are this kind of person, you have to make at least one friend in the week, meaning you need to get into one conversation with somebody and end it and make a friend. And this is throughout the entire week, so you've got like 5 days in that school time, so you've got actually a lot of time. You just need to make one friend, and like I said before, if you want to learn how to meet new people, go to the places that I recommended, like the cafe, like your classroom, and like also just outside of school, like at a bus stop or something, and like where you wait for some like sort of travel, like waiting for your dad or something to pick you up. You can always like make a friend there as well. So at the same time, yeah, you can make friends basically anywhere, as long as you just have like the courage and the confidence to do it. And yeah, so basically you just need to make one friend by the end of the week. So you've made friends, 5 to 10 friends you've got right now, or at least 5 to 10 conversations you've made in the last month. And now you've got a girl that you like in your class, or you've seen a girl that you like anywhere really, and you want to know exactly how to cold approach. Now, I can't really be the best one to give this advice to you, but I've only did 2 to 3 cold approaches and it didn't go so successfully. Well, obviously, it didn't go awful, but it didn't like go as I expected it. What I want to say is that I'm gonna try and give you the best advice that I've give to my friend that wants to know how to cold approach as well. So I'm just gonna give you the best advice I've also heard from Hamza. I've heard from these other YouTubers, mainly Hamza, because I just watch his videos. So it's like I feel like I can give you the best advice possible with this, and yeah. So make sure to listen to this part. But before you do it, just know that you need to do this part before. You need to watch this part, and also just understand that you need good social skills for this. Like, you need to have that confidence. You just need to first learn how to breathe. Now, obviously, I learned this tip from Hamza, and basically what he said is that you need to breathe so your stomach pops out basically and pushes outwards. So it's like, once you breathe like that, you'll have like complete calmness and stillness, and you'll be able to focus on meditation as well. If you want to actually get into a good flow state, and especially a social flow state, you just sit down, close your eyes for 3 minutes, just time yourself for 3 minutes to just sit there in silence and try to remove all the thoughts in your mind. But yeah, that's just meditation. I feel like you should do that every single day, and that is like probably the best way you can just stay calm and like having conversations and get into social flows and social social. Then you want to do the exact same protocol that you did when making the friend. So you're just going to go up, start the conversation, continue the conversation, and end the conversation like I just told you to. You want to make it as interesting as possible and make her more interested into you and who you are. Make sure to actually hold eye contact and not like look away like, yo, what's up? No. Just look her right in the eyes and say what you need to say. And obviously, when I did my cold approach, I didn't do it as good as this, but obviously I just did the same thing I did with making friends. And also, if you want to obviously like secure, obviously if you want to get to know her more, then obviously have a longer conversation, a deeper conversation. If you want to end it, just say. See you later, and then you can leave it, or you can say, see you later, can I have your like Snapchat or your Instagram. Obviously I don't have like a full-on like guide on this because I didn't do this. Like, I'm not the kind of person that does like talking to girls and stuff, but all I know from this is that you just need to commit to it no matter what. So you just need to commit and just like your darkest desires. So think about it, some people are improving their social skills simply because they are just lonely and they want a relationship and they want to talk to more girls, but they don't have to talk to people in general. So now they've got into this part of talking to girls, and now I feel like they're ready. So now you're ready. So now that you're prepared, you just need to commit yourself to do it. Get to know the girl that you like, and obviously try to get an Instagram or something if you can. I don't really know. I didn't really do this. I kind of just got into like conversations with girls every so often, but I was never like it was just like it was just like a test, if you got me. I didn't actually like, I wasn't like a player or something like talking to all these girls and stuff. It does give you like a testosterone boost, I heard. But if you want to talk to the girl that you like, then this is exactly how you do. You just gotta follow the same exact protocol. Make the conversation more interesting, and if she isn't compatible with you and it's the same exact signs with the friend one and or step 5, it's the same exact signs. If she just like turned away, or if she just not listening to what you're saying and she's just giving like boring replies and she's just not into you, then if that happens, then just move on and just don't think about it. Even though that she's like your don't, this is exactly why you just don't make your like crush or the girl that you like everything, because what happens is that you just become more and more like, what do you call it, obsessed over her, and then you start being more needy. If the girl is not compatible with you, you just need to move on from that and just find some more girls to talk to. But yeah, for me it was not like that, obviously. But obviously I didn't really have any like purpose of actually what do you call it, like getting the girl's number or something like that, or getting into relationships and around relationships. I never had a purpose in doing that. My purpose was simply just to like test it out and see if I can like advance and upgrade my social skills. This was mainly in year 11, so obviously I actually did pretty well, to be honest. This is exactly why you should take action straight away before this ends up happening, before she ends up actually getting into a relationship and you're just too late. This is exactly why you just need to talk to girls straight away and just take action and commit, because obviously she could just get into a relationship and that's it, it's over then. So yeah, and don't be afraid, and don't think in the past, oh well, I never talked to girls in the past, so it's like, oh yeah, I'm not that kind of guy and this is the first time doing it. Who cares, man? Who cares, honestly? You need to understand that if you really want this, yeah, then you're just gonna have to do it. If you don't do this and if you don't commit to this, then some other guy's gonna go up, cold approach her, and actually succeed, and you're not. So you need to actually take action and focus on this. If you actually want to get into a relationship and that's your desire and that's your, like what you want to do, then especially with like the social skills and like improving them, then this is exactly what you need to do. You need to start cold approaching more. You need to start getting into conversation with girls specifically. And obviously, I'd say one of the things you should do is obviously talk to more girls. Don't just talk to one girl. Talk to more different girls. If you're Muslim, then don't do it at all. But I just don't recommend it. I reject girls completely. If you're a Muslim, obviously, yeah, talk to girls every so often, but not for the case of obviously like getting a number or something. If it's just for like trying to improve your social skills, then so be it. Then that's a pretty good idea. Step 7. Body language. Now, body language comes like naturally, if you get what I mean. It's kind of like your natural body language. So, like when I'm talking, you don't really see it, but when I'm talking, I'll show you a little bit. So basically, when I'm talking, I'm usually moving my hands a lot, and I'm usually trying to explain something to you and trying to like show it, oh, yeah, like this and this. I'm like, oh yeah, but then you do this and this is what happened. And this is the one thing. Like I always use my own body language. I use my hands mainly. This kind of happens authentically. So basically, like this already kind of like you don't really know if you're having good body. You can't like forcefully do it, but basically it just kind of like happens, if you get what I mean. The only way you can actually prove it when you're talking, try just naturally open up more. The more you open up, you'll start using your hands more. Try use your hands a little bit more, by the way. And obviously, when I always explain something to somebody, you can really address that point really well to somebody that you're talking to. So let's say you get into a conversation, yeah, and you're using good body language. You're using good body language, and you're also using open body language. This will help them get like more close to you, and they'll be like, they'll kind of like understand what you're saying more. Whilst if you're just like, yo, yeah, but like I'm being really quiet while I just talk as well. Then they're not really gonna listen to you as well. You're not really that like open. So also I just want to say that that it kind of happens like naturally. So how do you actually improve your body language? It's simply just to like kind of push yourself to like just use your hands a little bit more, or just you kind of like use it mainly when you're explaining something, but you kind of the more your social intelligence goes up, the more better your your body language gets. So right now it's like it's probably really bad, you don't really use your hands that much, but the more you get used to it, the more you like open out a bit more and you explain something to somebody, the more you start using your hands more. So that is what basically body language is. 7.5, body posture. Now, but it's not like body language, it's body posture. Many guys nowadays literally just sit like this. Well, just on their computer like this. This is a very, very bad posture. When you're talking to somebody, they're hunched over, they're not even like, sometimes they're just like this. It's really simple. Just stand up, sit up straight and keep your shoulders back if you want to force your body posture to be better. And if you want to actually like improve your body posture, then you need to, it all comes down to your position in the social hierarchy. So right now in school, you're probably like the quiet kid that no one really likes or no one really talks to. So to improve that, you need to start talking more, which means you need to get into more conversation, you need to find some more places, do the exact same thing I've told you. And once you start doing that, you're slowly pushing yourself up that social hierarchy. I went from the bottom all the way to like, not even the top, but I was like about here. Not like the top though, but I was like here. And like many people knew who I was. So over time, my body posture, I became more confident. So I started like walking around like this. I started like putting my I used to have my hands in my pockets all the time and walk about. And now I was in year 10, by the way. Now I have my hands like out and I'm walking about like this. So obviously I increased my body posture because I knew like well, I've obviously explained the story before, but about like the fighting thing. Once I did the fighting thing and I got all this respect, I started improving my body posture naturally. That's how you just improve it naturally. But if you want to improve it just normally, like if you don't if you want to do the quick way to do it, it's simply by just like sitting up straight and keeping your shoulders like back. And if you're ever interested in the boxing thing, I keep talking about how I accidentally became the most popular kid in my entire year, and you want to actually know about the story and how I actually gained that respect, I will be recording a video on this channel later in the future. But if you want to know the actual story, I've actually got a full film on my like a little short film on my main channel. I post mainly short films, skits and vlogs on that channel. Please subscribe to that channel. And I've got a short film called Revival of a Boxer, and it's one of the best films I've ever made so far, and obviously it was my first short film. Please show some support to that. I want to get to like 50 or 100 views. So yeah, check that out if you actually want to know the story. It's even got like the videos of me fighting as well at in the intro, and it's also got a really interesting story with my brother as well. So yeah, thanks for watching today's video. I'll see you guys in the next guide. Peace, and Inferno Academy out. Become the ultimate man.